freedom of the sky beckons. Are you ready to see the world as only a Dova can?
Skyrim is filled with fantastical environments and amazing locations that populate the world. And so today, we're going to delve deep into a series of mods which aim to completely transform a bunch of Skyrim's level design and general locations, in order to provide you with a new world to explore. One that touches the same bases as vanilla, but as if it were made in 2023 rather than 2011. Overhauling a massive amount of locations with new mods aimed to give them a facelift and improve immersion and your general gameplay experience. And the best thing is, every single one of these mods work flawlessly with each other and will reinvigorate how you experience each of these locations in a natural way as you progress throughout your playthrough. So sit back and get ready to re-experience Skyrim how you remembered it 12 years ago.
I choose this as our goal.
Creatures of Nurn.
All men are kings. If he breathes, he is sin.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Your Samson and Broom, all right? Bone bed.
I want to give a huge thanks to Enlisted for sponsoring this video. Enlisted is a World War II multiplayer shooter which has a powerful focus on historical authenticity, while keeping gameplay energetic and players constantly in the action. It has large scale combat with dozens of soldiers, light and armoured vehicles, and aviation. Enlisted is available on PC, Xbox Series X, S and Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and 5, which also has built-in cross-platform support. My personal favourite thing about Enlisted is the squads mode, where you can control an entire squad of soldiers, equipping and commanding them separately. And the best thing is, there's no purchase required. Simply follow the link in the description to receive a free bonus now, containing 3 days of premium time and multiple orders for troops and weapons. Once again, massive thanks to Enlisted for sponsoring the channel, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Over the course of this video, we're going to take a look at a bunch of different mods to enhance the world and level design of certain areas. And while all currently being individual mods, they all fall under the modding branch title of Rin's Skyrim. A modder who has took it upon himself to go through a huge amount of the minor and in some cases mid to major areas of the game and give them an overhaul that acts as sort of like a vanilla if Bethesda had like an extra year to design these areas. And so we'll start this video by jumping right into some of the mods that affect the more minor locations found across the game. Rin's Farms sets out to overhaul a bunch of the farmlands and settlements in Skyrim, by offering more immersion and unique identifiers dependent on who owns the farm and what region exactly they're farming, and it really just adds that extra touch of immersion to your game. Rin's Standing Stones, however, does a similar thing, but to a whole other level regarding making them as unique as possible, each being differently designed in order to either reflect their region, their actual magical effect, or how people would treat them if they really existed in the world. And honestly, there is a really good balance here of improving each of the areas without going over the top like some other mods have before, and has quickly became one of, if not my favourite overhaul to what are meant to be special locations found across the province. Next we'll move on to some of the individual locations that have also been covered, like Robber's Gorge, which now looks like a real hub town of thieves and bandits. Bleakwood Basin has also been transformed to give its surrounding area more memorability, while also reflecting what a sentient giants camp would really be like. Halted Stream Camp has been given a stronger sense of fortification, with more structures the bandits have built in order to have a stronger grip on the outpost, while the Alchemist Shack has now really embraced its name, from the small ingredient soils previously there to the lush grown out haven of alchemy. Lund's Hut, expanding on its skeever-infested theme, has been improved as to reflect how this sole location would have actually been livable by Lund, and Bleak Falls Barrow has been given some more immersion to the bandits with an actual camp for them to reside at. Next is Crabber's Shanty, which is one of the most pleasantly surprising overhauls in this video, with some nice visual changes to the outside, but most of all, the new awesome Crabber's Cave, which really embraces the name of why this place is so iconic to crab enthusiasts across the world. And lastly is Valtheim Towers, which has been given a huge makeover, improving on its indefensible tower entrance to have more fortifications and an actual pinpoint to carry out the shakedown, that before was just kind of laughable that you would just end up riding right past without any consequences. But now the bridge and the tower has been given a facelift to allow for more exploration and immersion. Next, we're going to turn our gaze to a new single location, which is technically overhauling a very underdeveloped location in the vanilla game. But in reality, this mod does so much that I'm classifying it as its own new area because it really is. Because one character that in theory should have their own outpost and home, in reality doesn't have anything. And that's of course the Ebony Warrior and his mountaintop manor of the last Vigil. Now, while it also falls under the category of Rin's overhauls and the exterior definitely keeps on par with the quality found across the other mods, the unique aspect about this mod is its interior. Designed in collaboration with Gutmore, the Peaktop Keep has been amazingly crafted in order to show where a hero that is essentially the game equivalent of you would truly reside. Fit with absolutely everything a hero of this magnitude would collect in his home. From uniquely enchanted weapons and armour collected and displayed throughout his travels, to trophies of his mightiest kills enriching the halls. This place not only acts as a visual storyteller of who the Ebony Warrior truly was and his impact on the world of Skyrim, but also provides you with a home you can obtain at high levels after killing such a foe, with absolutely everything you could possibly need as a player. Especially one at what is essentially the endgame of your playthrough. From crafting stations, to Dremora servants, and displays of uniquely named artifacts that the previous owner collected over his years. This is by far one of those mods that impressed me so much that it initialized the thought of making this entire video. Not only does it give you a nice home and a new location, but also wields the Ebony Warrior with a new set of altered ebony armor and a new weapon that he will use against you in your trial by combat.
Hello? Shore's blood. That's some good armor you've put together. Reminds me when I first started smithing. Apprentice level work, but solid. Keep at it. I have a letter here for you. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
And here we all are. As some of you may know, Saarthal was one of the earliest Nord settlements in Skyrim. All right, everyone, let's be careful, but have fun.
Saarthal, a place of great significance, both in the College of Winterhold quest, but also in the lore of the province, which is now an excavation and research site used by the mages of Winterhold. And Rin's Saarthal really goes to town on bringing this place the glory it well deserved, by enhancing its significance through the unique ruined city it once was. And personally, I don't think I will ever turn off this mod in particular because it's pretty damn near perfect for what I imagine Saarthal should be, and has quickly became one of my must-have in my game over the course of making this video. Really transforming Saarthal into this grand excavation site that now truly looks like a place that the college have been delving into and researching, but now from grand and bold to quaint and sadistic.
Please be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
Anice's cabin is an area that everybody knows all too well, where a secret witch is in hiding disguised as a nice old lady upon first glance. And, as you might expect, Rin's Anice's cabin adds to it in the same methodology as all the other mods in this video, turning the outside into a more immersive, believable location in which Anice grows food and has a proper area to live and reside, which is kind of the running theme with all these mods so far, making these areas actually resourceful and believable for all the people that are located there. Additionally, following on from this theme is Golden Glow Estate, an area in which most people will come across at least once, assuming they're doing the Thieves Guild questline. And the treatment is no different here, making this island actually more accessible from the water and providing it with more locations and workers to actually run what is essentially like a honey plantation farm thing, I guess. And even further, actually makes the infiltration mission a lot more fun to do, as if you want to sneak past the workers without getting caught, you're going to have to relearn its new layout and guard patterns. And just before we move on to the final mod and location for this video, we have another quest related area that was probably heavily due an upgrade. Karthspire is the giant Forsworn camp guarding the entrance to Skyhaven Temple, and now it's actually really cool and dynamic as an enemy zone in the Reach, providing you with a bunch of great new pathing for sneaking, but also just a fun design and layout that makes this quest less of a drag like it kind of became over time in vanilla. And overall, just like the rest of the mods in this video, does a fantastic job at improving the world without completely breaking lore or believability like some other mods can tend to do. And with that, we'll move on to the final mod of this video. Whiterun's Western Watchtower. Undoubtedly one of Skyrim's most recognisable areas, minus the grass and tree mods I have on of course, but Ryn's Western Watchtower really aims to give that area a believable fortified design, while obviously keeping intact the most important part, the Watchtower. The courtyard now comes with a plethora of new immersive supplies and buildings that really makes sense that the guards could be stationed here now, which of course they are before and after the attack, with a new house in which they all sleep, and an entrance under the tower to a supply room. But of course there's one more feature to this location that we have not shown off yet.
Scatter and get behind cover! Archers! Die, beast!
Because during and after the fight with the dragon in the main story, the tower switches to a ruined version destroyed and burned from dragonfire. And this one really gives an epic feeling to the entire fight sequence that was not to this magnitude in vanilla, but also gives some immersion because after a certain amount of progress in the main quest, the guards will rebuild it to its former self once again. And that's going to do it for this video. We have some good stuff planned soon, so stay tuned to this year as I finally started working again after the holidays. Oh, and be sure to check out the sponsor of this video, Enlisted. It's sponsors like these that help and support the channel, so a big thank you to them. You can play Enlisted now on PC, Xbox Series S, X, and Xbox One, PS4, and 5. Click the link in the description to download the game and get your exclusive free bonus now. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, join the Discord, follow my socials if you'd like, and I will see you fairly soon with some new videos. Take care.